Okay, final video of the 8662A. Fault's been fixed totally now. This is the Spiers multiplier board, and this was the problem all along. About 3 of the chips had blown up. I'm a bit concerned about why it's done that. I'm monitoring the 5-volt rail at the moment. It's steady at 5.2 volts, which is what it's meant to be. So I'm not too worried about that. I need to probably log that just to make sure that doesn't mess about, because that was the only thing really that could blow the chip out. So I've replaced 3 of the chips in the multiplier. There's a 3-way switch that 3 of these chips control that. They've been replaced. The chip here was replaced. The chip there was replaced. I'll show you on the circuit what I've done. 6A3, which is this one. I don't know what had happened. This chip had blown up, so we weren't getting anything through 320 point here. So we replaced that chip. What other chip blew up? We had this chip here was faulty. We replaced that. That's the outputs from these 3 chips here that select the 320. 480 and 640 feeds. There's a 640 that's fed up from this top line here. The 320 comes in from the first input stage, basically straight out of the front end of the board. The 480 comes through the same point and runs through a multiplier. None of that was working. And then the final one that was a little bit harder to find was actually this chip here was actually leaky. And it's 2 transistors here, the 2 transistors here, as you can see. That's the circuit diagram for that chip. Very, very straightforward, so it's very easy to test with the multimeter, and even in circuit, especially when you've got a second board, you can test it. So I finally got all the figures right. Just a word of note on this thing. The manual on these, if you can get hold of the original service manual, you must get the service manual. It makes it so much easier to work with. And I was sort of skipping bits and pieces, which is the mistake. You must go through methodically. I tend to do that, and come back and started from scratch again, and then found I thought the VCOs had packed up. Well, it's not the VCOs that are packed up. It was basically you had to go through and make sure that if this A3 board doesn't work properly, you won't get the right frequencies out of the device. So you need to check that I suggest you check that first, and that's one of the first pages in the service manual. There we go. Presently it's outputting 10 kHz. I'm going to change the range on this because it's my 10 kHz. Pretty steady. It's a bit jumping about here. Just verging on 10 kHz. That's fine. That's its lower limit anyway. That's not really design limit. 1 megahertz. Rumbling stable. 10 megs, stable, 25 megs, good. I don't know, let's go 250 megs, I'll have to change the range. Oh, there you go, 250 megs, 500 meg. I need to change range now to the different input. Frequency B, 500 megs, 750 megs. Captures nicely and quickly. 1 gig. 1 gig's working fine. So it's actually working perfectly now. Thankfully, it's been a long haul to get this to work. Mainly because I thought I got it working. I wasn't sure. When some of the figures I was getting or wasn't getting, I was expecting to see 640 megs, and I wasn't seeing them. And I was thinking, well, it's probably because the signal's so low I can't actually detect it on the Rakel meter. I haven't got a spectrum analyzer. Well, I haven't got a working spectrum analyzer. That will be the next project. This is a Hewlett-Packard spectrum analyzer that's not working. And it's another one of the Roband, or the company I work with, hand-me-downs that is being scrapped. The first time I powered it up, it didn't work at all. And first time I powered it up, the keyboard wouldn't respond, and the second time it was totally dead. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to do anything with that. That'd be a lovely piece of kit to get going if I can, but that would have been really useful, digressing slightly, to get this lovely bit of kit working. It seems to be working fine now. All I need to do is just check the FM and AM modulations and things like that, but there's no reason to think that that's blown up at all. I think that we've basically found the problem, and as you can see, it's stable as a rock. And thanks for watching. I hope it was of some interest, but as I would say, I think with all the Hewlett-Packard stuff, their service manuals are excellent. If you can get a service manual, buy one. They're worth their weight in gold. Thanks for watching.